Jim Carrey has been a familiar face in Hollywood for decades, which means that red carpets are just a part of doing business for him. While he's occasionally shown up on his own, he's just as likely to have an equally intriguing lady by his side. Carrey went mainstream in 1990 when he joined the cast of the sketch comedy show In Living Color. It took another 4 years for him to become a full-blown A-lister when in 1994 he starred in 3 smash hits: Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. By this time, he'd already separated from his first wife, Melissa. She accompanied him to a few red carpet events prior to his big breakout, although photos of the pair from that time are hard to come by. The two met when Jim was a struggling stand-up comic, and Melissa was a waitress at the Comedy Store. They married in March 1987 and had a baby girl named Jane Erin 6 months later. The Carreys officially divorced in 1995 after separating in 1993, supposedly due to the effect that burgeoning fame and fortune had on the actor. Melissa talked with Rolling Stone the year they divorced, revealing that she had told her husband, "You must come home and put your feet back on the ground and take your garbage out like everyone else, or I can't be married to you." Instead of changing his ways, he called her bluff, and with that, their wedded bliss was over. Jim Carrey hit up the red carpet with another woman while he was technically still married to Melissa, but there was nothing iffy going on. In 1994, he posed with Cameron Diaz at the premiere for The Mask, which they starred in together. And they weren't alone, as they were joined by their canine co-star, a Jack Russell Terrier named Max. Carrey and Diaz have formed a friendship that's lasted throughout the years. They've bumped into each other at various events, including the 1995 MTV Movie Awards, the 2003 Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards, and AFI's Night at the Movies event in 2008. They even shared a kiss when she presented him the Funniest MF Award during Spike TV's Guys' Choice Awards in 2011. If you love seeing the pair together, then you'll be happy to hear that Carrey told comicbook.com in 2020 that he would be willing to tackle a sequel to The Mask as long as, quote, some crazy visionary filmmaker was on board to make it. Carrey may have found a lasting friendship with Cameron Diaz, but he ended up finding more than that with another on-screen love interest, Lauren Holly. They co-starred in Dumb and Dumber, and following his split from his first wife, they ended up getting married in 1996.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
During their time together, they hit up red carpets for premieres of films like Get Shorty, Batman Forever, and Liar Liar, just to name a few. While they always seemed to be happy while in front of the cameras, she filed for divorce just 9 months after they tied the knot. When Entertainment Weekly asked Carrey in 1997 if he felt like Holly had only been with him for his money, he said, "No, there are certain PR advantages to being with me, and Lauren knows that too. But the bottom line is she's made her way in this world. She's proven herself." While Holly may or may not have benefited from Carrey's fame, there was a downside to being married to someone who's headline fodder. During a 2013 appearance on the Canadian talk show George Stormbalopoulos Tonight, she explained that photographers would sneak into their backyard to take pictures and go through their garbage. We imagined you'd have to have a really strong bond to survive that invasion of privacy.
At first it was kind of fun, and then our whole life became about, we have to keep them out.
After things fizzled out between Carrey and Holly, he attempted to find love with another co-star. He started up a friendship with Renée Zellweger on the set of 1999's Me, Myself, and Irene, and they then began dating when filming ended. He talked with CNN about their relationship in 2000, saying, "Aside from giving personal details, because I think that what we are is too special to share with strangers and the world, I will say that we had the most wonderful, old-fashioned, tremendously something you dream about happening and never happening anymore type of courtship. We're having a great time. I think she's absolutely a gem of a human being." Carrey and Zellweger made red carpet appearances together at the premieres of his film Man on the Moon and her movie Nurse Betty. They also appeared at several events promoting his star turn as the title character in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. They even sparked rumors that they were engaged after he purchased a $200,000 diamond friendship ring for her in 2000. That's a pretty expensive trinket for something that apparently wasn't an engagement ring. However, for whatever reason, they broke things off later that same year. Carrey was likely still in a relationship with Renée Zellweger while he was filming 2001's The Majestic. One of his co-stars in that film was Laurie Holden, who's probably best known for playing Andrea on The Walking Dead. The fact that Carrey wasn't single at the time means that Holden didn't end up as another one of his co-stars turned girlfriend. However, the pair did appear together at the movie's premiere and looked happy to do so. Over a decade later, the two teamed up again when she was cast as the female lead in Dumb and Dumber 2. Sadly though, it seems as if she may not have gotten to ride in the famous famous Mutt Cuts van. However, she did get a chance to meet up with Carrey at the world premiere's after party where the two appeared to take a little time to catch up. We can't wait to see these two back together again for Dumb and Dumbest, or even an unexpected many years later sequel to The Majestic. At the premiere of their crime-fueled comedy Fun with Dick and Jane in 2005, Jim Carrey and Leoni posed together and shared a quick, friendly kiss while on the red carpet. They were entertaining on screen together as a rich couple who engage in illegal acts in order to sustain their lavish lifestyle, and they seemed to get along just as well off-screen, despite not committing felonies together. However, they almost never worked together at all, as Cameron Diaz was originally supposed to fill Leoni's role, but things ultimately worked out just fine in the end. According to Dick and Jane director Dean Pereso, Carrey and Leoni were, quote, like an old comedy couple from the 30s or 40s. During an interview on the red carpet, Carrey talked about their chemistry together, saying, when it works, you know? It felt like we had a shorthand. We immediately liked each other, you know? And it just was easy. Despite the good times, Carrey and Leoni haven't worked together since. You might think that after his relationships with Laurie Holden and Renée Zellweger, Jim Carrey might be wary of getting involved with another famous woman, but that doesn't appear to be the case at all. In 2005, he started dating model, actress, and future Masked Singer judge Jenny McCarthy.
I am having a wonderful time, yes.
Yeah, Jenny McCarthy is a very great lady.
She's greater than people know.
Carrey and McCarthy were together for 5 years. During that time, they showed up on the red carpet for plenty of A-list industry events, including movie premieres for the likes of Yes Man, A Christmas Carol, and The Hangover. Alas, they split in 2010, which Carrey addressed by tweeting, "Jenny and I have ended our 5-year relationship. I'm grateful for the many blessings we've shared and I wish her the very best." As for McCarthy, she released a statement that said, "I'm so grateful for the years Jim and I shared together. I will continue to be in his daughter's life and I will always keep Jim as a leading man in my heart." After the breakup, McCarthy went on to marry actor and former New Kids on the Block singer Donnie Wahlberg in 2014. In 2017, Carrey popped onto the red carpet with Victoria's Secret model Taylor Hill for the Harper's Bazaar Icons party at the Plaza Hotel. While it's not clear why the pair posed together, it didn't appear as if they were announcing a new romance. Instead, Carrey chatted with E! News' Kat Sadler and things got a little weird.
There's no meaning to any of this, so I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
Sadler attempted to salvage the awkward interaction by asking about the celebration of icons, to which Carrey responded, "Celebrating icons? Boy, that's just the absolute lowest aiming possibility that we could come up with. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air." He then launched into a James Brown impression for some reason. While others might have abandoned the cringeworthy task at hand, Sadler bravely attempted to get Carrey to talk about his outfit, which went just about as well as you can imagine.
I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here. This is a dream?
There's just things happening.
In 2018, Carrey had one of the more unusual red carpet dates. For one thing, he posed with 2 women instead of just one, but this time around neither was his romantic partner. Instead, he kept it platonic with his fellow actors Judy, Greer, and Catherine Keener at the Los Angeles premiere of the Showtime series Kidding. Carrey wore a bright yellow jacket and robot shirt and smiled widely for the cameras. Meanwhile, the ladies opted for slightly more serious expressions. Carrey, Greer, and Keener may all be friendly nowadays, but Greer admitted to Newsweek that before being on the show with Carrey, she was, quote, super nervous to work with him and meet him. On Kidding, she plays his estranged wife, and he plays Jeff Pickles, a TV personality similar to Mr. Rogers. As Greer explained to Newsweek, "I really fell for Jeff Pickles. Just the idea of people being nice to other people and treating other people with respect." It's worth noting that Carrey didn't pose with actress Ginger Gonzaga at the Kidding red carpet, even though she also appears on the show and attended the premiere. But that doesn't mean that the two of them wouldn't spend time together at future events. Carrey may not have found romance with Judy Greer or Catherine Keener, but that doesn't mean that he didn't make a connection with any of his Kidding co-stars. He ended up dating Ginger Gonzaga, who plays Vivian, a woman dying of cancer who becomes romantically linked to Carrey's character. It's unclear exactly when Carrey and Gonzaga started dating, but they made their red carpet debut together on January 5th, 2019, at the Showtime Golden Globe nominees celebration. Gonzaga commemorated the event on Instagram when she posted a picture of the pair along with the caption, "Most partial crucial to this talented nominee, #Golden Globes. Carrey and Gonzaga also showed up at the InStyle and Warner Brothers Golden Globes after party that same month and walked the Golden Globes red carpet together. The couple took some time to chat with Entertainment Tonight's Nancy O'Dell while on the red carpet, and Carrey just couldn't help but gush about his co-star.
I'm very lucky. I feel very lucky.
She's a beautiful lady.
She's not only beautiful. She's wickedly talented and amazing and smart.
Although it sounded like the two were in a good place during awards season, they ended their relationship in October of that same year. The final lady on this list might be the most special person in Jim Carrey's life. Back in 1995, he first brought his daughter Jane with him to a prestigious industry event. She was just a kid at the time, dressed in a sweet floral dress. She smiled for the cameras and flashed a thumbs up when her dad put his handprints and footprints in cement at Mann's Chinese Theatre in Hollywood. She also showed up for the premiere of Horton Hears a Who at the Mann Village Theatre in 2008, and by that time she had grown up quite a bit. If you think Jane looks familiar, then that may very well be because you saw her when she popped up on American Idol in 2012. While striking out on her own, she survived the initial audition for the singing competition. But after a shaky performance on Creedence Clearwater Revival's Looking Out My Back Door, her time on the show came to an end. Jane hasn't yet established the kind of career in show business that will see her invited to a red carpet event on her own. But we're sure we haven't seen the last time she's out on the town with her superstar dad. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.